Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the first unit in economics, which is money, savings and investments. Synopsis of the lesson. In this session, we are going to see the following topics. The first one is what is economics? Next, why do we study economics? Understanding economics. Introduction. Evolution of money. Next, major stages of evolution of money. Under this, we have commodity money, metallic money, paper money, credit money, near money, and recent forms of money. First, we are going to see what is economics. Economics is the study of production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services within a society. Here, production means producing the products, distribution means selling the products, and consumption means buying the products. Then, it is a study of how people make choices and decisions with limited resources to satisfy wants, needs and desires. Next, let's see about why do we study economics. Economics helps us learn how the world functions. It helps guide us through our decision-making processes. Then, economics studies needs versus wants. Understanding economics. So what is mean by economics? Economics means how people meet their needs by making, distributing and using goods and services. Economists study how people work, earn money, save money, invest, and how people use their time, energy and money. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge. Knowledge makes you great. By APJ Abdul Kalam. So, this lesson starts with the quote of APJ Abdul Kalam. So, students, the creativity and knowledge comes from learning, which in turn makes you a great person. Now, let's see the introduction part. Money is a fascinating subject and full of curiosities. So here, fascinating means interesting. Money is a very interesting subject and full of curiosities. Then, money is a fundamental discovery which has eased. Here, eased means it has made easy the day-to-day transactions, valuing goods and services, and has allowed us to store the wealth and trade in future. So, money is the most interesting subject which everyone are curious to know about it. According to Robertson, money is anything which is widely accepted in payment for goods or in discharge of other business obligations. Here, obligations means duties, commitments or responsibilities. Now, let's see evolution of money. The word money is derived from Roman word moneta geno. It is the Roman goddesses and the republic money of Roman Empire. The Indian rupee is derived from Sanskrit word rupya, which means silver coin. Today we use paper notes, coins as money, right? But the evolution of this stage has not happened overnight. It took thousands of years to reach such a stage. There are many stages of evolution of money. The earliest and primitive stage is barter system. So here primitive means ancient or starting stage is barter system. Now we are going to learn about barter system. Let's see what does barter mean. Bartering is a system of exchange of some goods with other goods where no money is involved. What is barter? It is the oldest system of trading, and it is the exchange of goods and services between two parties without any involvement of cash. So here barter means barter is a medium in which goods and services are exchanged directly without a common unit of exchange, that is money. Now let's see some advantages or benefits of barter system. It is the simplest form of exchange. It plays a valuable role in maintaining harmonious relationship among the members of the community. Here, harmonious means friendly relationship exists when the people practice barter system. Barter ensures need-based production, as under this system, only those goods are produced that are required by the community. So, only need-based production, that means they will produce the products which are required for the community. Bartering doesn't involve money, which is one of the advantages. Barter system. Barter system is exchanging goods for goods without the use of money in the primitive stage. So, primitive means ancient days, that is the starting stage. A barter system is an old method of exchange. This system has been used for centuries and long before money was invented. The value of bartering items can be negotiated with the other party. So here negotiate means they can even negotiate the value of the bartering items. So negotiation means the two parties will discuss and finally they will come to the conclusion upon to the items to be exchanged. Now let's see some disadvantages or drawbacks of the barter system. The first drawbacks is lack of double coincidence of wants. That means if person 1 has sugar and person 2 has wheat, but the need of person 1 is rice, so the person 1 wants rice in exchange of sugar, but person 2 has wheat. So now what the person 2 has to do is he has to exchange the wheat with somebody who has rice. Again he have to bring the rice and then he have to exchange with the sugar. So there is a lack of double coincidence of wants. So it is the complex process. So I hope you are clear. Again I will explain. If person 1 wants rice to be exchanged with sugar and person 2 wants sugar but he has wheat, so he don't have rice, so what he have to do is he have to go and find the person who has rice and then he have to exchange the wheat with rice and then the person 2 now he will have rice, so again he have to come and exchange with sugar. So it is the very complex process. It is one of the drawback in barter system. So the second drawback is lack of common measure of value. So there is no proper measure of value. For example, if person 1 has milk and person 2 has cloth and they have to exchange with each other, so There is no proper measuring value in the system. The third drawback is lack of indivisibility. For example, if person 1 has cow and person 2 has chair, and both of them have to exchange the products, so we all know that the cow is more valuable than the chair, so the person 1 cannot divide the cow into parts to make it equal to the value of the chair. So there comes the lack of indivisibility. So in this case we cannot divide the commodity. Here commodity means item, material or product. The fourth drawback is difficulties of storing wealth. For example, if person 1 has fruits and person 2 has vegetables, and both of them wants to exchange their commodities, so we all know that fruits and vegetables cannot be stored for a long period of time, so this is known as difficulties of storing wealth. I hope you are clear with the drawbacks of the barter system. Next, we are going to see evolution of money. Here, evolution means from the starting stage till now, that is the advanced stage. As I said before, it started with the exchange of goods for goods system, that is barter system, and we have progressed to using metal coins. Then now in current days we are using the plastic money such as credit cards and debit cards. Now let's see the evolution process from stage to stage. Now let's see major stages of evolution of money: commodity money, metallic money, paper money, credit money, near money and recent forms of money. Now let's see the stages of money one by one in detail. First, we are going to see commodity money. Here, commodity means item, material or product. So, in the earliest period of human civilization, here civilization means development or evolution. So, in the earliest period of human evolution, any commodity that was generally demanded and chosen by common consent was used as money. In ancient times, they used the commodity or the products as the value of exchange, that is barter system, which means exchange of goods for goods. So they use the commodity or the products like furs, which means the short, fine, soft hair of certain animals, skins, salt, rice, wheat, utensils. So what is mean by utensil? Utensil means a tool, container or other article, especially for household use. Weapons, etc., were commonly used as money. Such exchange of goods for goods was known as barter exchange. Next, we are going to learn about metallic money. With progress of human civilization, so here civilization means development or evolution. With progress of human development, commodity money changed into metallic money. Metals like gold, silver, copper, etc. were used as they could be easily handled and their quantity can be easily determined. It was the main form of money throughout the major portion of recorded history. Next, let's move on to history of metallic money. The precious metals, especially gold, silver, bronze, were used for metallic money. The standard weight and fineness of metal, particularly gold and silver with a seal on it became medium of exchange. There were of different denomination, easily divisible, portable, and were convenient in making payment. So here denomination means 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin and 10 rupee coins. So they are of different denominations so that it can be easily divisible and convenient in making the payment. According to Herodotus, so Herodotus is known as the father of history. According to Herodotus, the king Midas of Lydia, here Lydia is the place in Greece. So King Midas of Lydia innovated metal coin in the 8th century BC by the ancient historian Herodotus. But gold coins were in use in India many centuries than in Lydia. The earliest issuers of coins in the world are the ancient Indians, along with Chinese and Lydians from the Middle East. The first time Indian coins were minted, which means made, in the 6th century BC by the Mahajanapadas, known as Puranas Kashyapanas. The Mauryas came up with the punch-marked coins, minting of silver, gold, copper or lead. Here we can see the picture of punch-marked coins. Next, Indo-Greek Kushan kings introduced the Greek custom of engraving portraits on the coins. So here portrait means the picture of rulers were engraved. Engraved means inscribed on the coins. So here we can see the pictures of Indo-Greek Kushan coins. Turkish sultans of Delhi has replaced the royal designs of Indian kings with Islamic calligraphy by the 12th century AD. So the sultans of Delhi has replaced the royal designs of Indian kings with Islamic calligraphy. Here calligraphy means writings. So they replaced it with Islamic writings by the 12th century AD. Here we can see the picture of Delhi Sultanate coins. The currency was made up of gold, silver and copper, known as tanka. Here we can see the picture of gold, silver and copper. In lower valued coin known as jittals. Here we can see the picture of jittal. In this era, evolution of rupee occurred with Sher Shah Suri defeated Humayun and issued a silver coin of 178 grams known as rupiah and was divided into 40 copper pieces or paisa, and during the whole Mughal period silver coin remained in use. So during the period of Sher Shah Suri, he was the founder of Sur dynasty. So Sher Shah Suri defeated Humayun. Humayun was an Mughal emperor and issued a silver coin of 178 grams known as rupiah and was divided into 40 copper pieces or paisa, and during the whole Mughal period silver coin remained in use. So here we can see the picture of silver coin. During the British East India Company, that is 1600, the Mughal currency remained popular, but in 1717 AD, Farrukhsiyar, the Mughal emperor, gave permission to the Britishers to coin Mughal money at the Bombay Mint. The British gold coins were termed as Carolina. The British silver coins were termed as Angelina. Here we can see the pictures of gold coin and silver coin. The British copper coins were termed as Kapparun. Then the British tin coins were termed as Tinny. Here we can see the pictures of copper coins and tin coins. Here we can see the different kinds of metallic money like Maurya, Karshapanas, Delhi Sultan, Tanha, Sharshah Suri and Maurya. Next, we are going to learn about paper money, how the paper money came into existence and what is the need to invent the paper money. Here we can see the picture of paper money. It was found inconvenient as well as dangerous to carry gold and silver coins from place to place. So, invention of paper money marked a very important or significant stage in the development of money. The development of paper money started on the basis of storage of gold, and the receipts were issued by the goldsmiths for these storages. So, at first, people used to store their gold, and the receipts were issued by the goldsmiths for these storages. So, the receipts given by the goldsmith was considered as the money. These receipts of goldsmiths were a substitute for money and became paper money. Paper money is regulated and controlled by Central Bank of the country, that is Reserve Bank of India. In India, printing, regulating, controlling the paper currencies are done by the Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI, which was established in 1935. At present, a very large part of money consists mainly of currency notes or paper money issued by the central bank. Here we can see the picture of Reserve Bank of India. Next, we are going to learn about credit money or bank money. Emergence of credit money took place almost side by side with that of paper money. People keep a part of their cash as deposits with banks, which they can withdraw at their convenience through checks. The check is also known as credit money or bank money. Itself is not money, but it performs the same as functions of money. Here we can see the picture of check. Next, we are going to learn about near money. The final stage in the evolution of money has been the use of bills of exchange, treasury bills, bonds, debentures, savings certificate, etc. So, these are all the bond type documents with a seal of the authority. Next, we are going to learn about recent forms of money. The first one is plastic money. The latest type of money is plastic money in the form of credit cards and debit cards. They aim for cashless transactions. Here we can see the picture of credit cards. Next, we are going to learn about e-money. E refers to electronic. So, electronic money is money which exists in banking, computer systems and is available for transactions through electronic system. Next, let's see about online banking or net banking. Online banking, also known as internet banking, is an electronic payment system that enables customers of a bank or other financial institutions to conduct a range of financial transactions through website. Here we can see the picture of online banking. Finally, let's see about e-banking. Here E refers to electronic banking. So, electronic banking is also known as National Electronic Funds Transfer, that is NEFT, is simply the use of electronic means to transfer funds directly from one account to another rather than by check or cash. So, with the invention of the electronic banking or electronic money, it is easier to transfer the amount from one account to another account without going to the bank or without visiting the bank. We can simply transfer the amount sitting in a place. So, I hope you are clear about evolution of money. As I said before, it started with the exchange of goods for goods system, that is barter system, and we have progressed to using metal coins. Then now in current days we are using the plastic money such as credit cards and debit cards, then electronic money. I have enclosed the classwork instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.